Yeah.
A lot of people, let's go, let's get it.
Yeah, what's going on, man? So,
What's going on?
hey, y'all know what it is, man. We here with RKT Appraisals. We got Rashidi and Kaleem on the show, and what are we talking about today, guys?
Well, we're basically talking about insurance. The cost of gas is actually more expensive than getting an insurance policy. So I'm going to actually show you guys actually a visual of, the numbers, how it looks, and give you guys a couple of quotes. These are just projections of the numbers just to give you an idea of how much it'll cost you to get an insurance policy.
Gotcha. And Rashid, you got anything to add, my man?
Yeah, man. I mean, that's the whole point of the show right now today, to show that, like, if you can afford gas, you can insurance a policy. And we're not saying gas for the month. We're just saying one fill up, a tank and a half. If you can afford a tank and a half a month, you can insure. You can afford a life insurance policy. That's how reasonable it is. A lot of times people think life insurance is a price they can't match, they can't reach. It's too expensive. Not true.
Right.
It's close. With the price of gas, and you could quadruple your money over a few years potentially.
Facts. And once you buy a tank of gas, a couple of days is a wrap. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Literally.
Once you
days will last you.
Exactly. All right. Well, so and what kind of insurance policy are we actually talking about? Because there's a lot of different type of insurance policies. Explain. Could we talk about it all the time? But like I said, we as a show, as a podcast, we always have to remember that there's always new people coming in, and there's always going to be a new person clicking on this video to watch it. So we have to reiterate the information for our new people. So go ahead.
100%. Well, there's different types of policies that we sell, different products, right? The two main are term products and permanent products, right? Anybody who doesn't know what a term policy is, for one, is super affordable. However, it doesn't build any cash value. It can last anywhere from 10 to 30 years. Especially if somebody who just bought a home. This is actually great for someone who just bought a home, or it's great for someone who has a family, who has a more smaller budget, and a term policy is good for them. And the permanent product, right? That's where we call our IUL, which stands for Index Universal Life. Index because it's attached to the market, it mirrors the market. When your money goes up, when the stocks goes up, your money goes up. When the stocks go down, your money gets locked into place. Universal because it's flexible, right? You have flexible premiums, meaning flexible payments. And what does that mean? That means that you have a floor that you can put in every month, a minimum, and then there's a max, a ceiling that you can put in every month. So anywhere within that range, you can put per month into your policy.
Gotcha.
And then L stands for life insurance, right? Because it's still coverage, still insurance.
Okay. Okay. All right. So are you ready to share? Are you ready to share the screen so we can get into it?
Yep. I'm going to get right into it. Give me one second. Let me go share that screen.
Yeah, guys, because as you do, I'm gonna just keep talking because you see the thing is, guys, like we got to understand there's a lot of different ways to get into investments. You don't always have to buy real estate. You don't always have to do a bunch of like crazy because let's be honest, a lot of the reason why a lot of us don't invest in our future and in our retirement is because we don't know how to. You understand? But once you get the information, you'll realize that there's a lot of easy ways for you to put your money somewhere where your money can work for you. You understand? Like I heard somebody say this on a video the other day. They said this. They said that America is only two classes in America now. You got the working class and you got the capitalist class. And they say that the working class is anybody from the dude greeting you at Walmart to the highest paid salary guy in some career somewhere. Right. You understand? And then the capitalist class are the people who are making their money work for them, meaning the people who put their money in strategic places where the interest builds on it. They use the power of things like compound interest and market rates and interest rates and shit like borrowing on debt, borrowing lines of equity, borrowing lines of credit, understanding how those things, because bro, it's a lot of stuff that I'm not even all the way in, and there's so many things that I'm realizing. Like you got cash flow, you got credit, look, every time you spend your credit card, you get anywhere from 1% to 5% on your purchase.
Right.
Last time I went to Florida to do a wedding, I rented a car for like 4 days. I didn't pay for that. You know what paid for that? All of the points that I accrued using my credit card.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? However, I was spending money through my credit card, but I was still paying with my checking account through cash flow.
Right.
If I was just paying for my day-to-day expenses through my straight through debit account, through my cash flow, through my checking account, I would have never got those perks, and I would have had to also pay for that fucking rent-a-car.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's little, and that's just scratching the fucking iceberg, because rich people don't give a fuck about renting a car. I'm telling you, because I'm a broke nigga just trying to figure it out. See what I'm saying? When rich people talk, they talk about, oh yeah, so I chartered a private jet and blah blah. No, you see what I'm saying? So it's a whole different thing. But imagine if you understand what I just told you on a higher scale and at a bigger magnitude. Then instead of thinking about renting a car, like I said, you thinking about chartering planes. You understand what I'm saying? But again, that's different. You know, it's different levels to everything. But Kayleem, I'm gonna let you take it away. You sharing the screen, so go ahead.
Appreciate it. Can you guys see the screen? It says first name, middle name, last name. Do you guys see it?
Yeah, we see it.
Yeah, that's better
Okay,
right there.
awesome.
Yeah, here we go.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah, that's
All right.
good.
So the main two things that I need to know when we're running the quote.
Slide it over. Can you slide it over some more? Right, yeah, right there. Perfect. Go. Yeah, that's perfect.
So the main two things that I got to know, right, when I'm running the quote for an individual, two things: their date of birth and whether they're male or female. Literally, that's it, right? So just for illustration purposes, I'm gonna go with a female who's 30 years old, and I'm gonna do a male as well. So I'm gonna do one female, one male. But for right now, I'm starting with the female, right? She's 30 years old, right? So we're gonna see how much insurance is gonna cost for her. How much is her IUL going to cost her?
Okay.
Right. I'm gonna minimize it for a second, then I'm gonna go back and make it big for you guys. Give me a second.
Yeah, man. And while he's doing that, man, this is just a good way to show you how much things really cost you, how much money and interest you can make off these policies.
Mm-hmm.
And these are real numbers just based off of a general age and female. So it's not exact to the teeth of that specific to that person, because a couple of minor things could change, but this is overall 70% accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So right now, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna load it back up again. Right now, for that 30-year-old female, this is $100K worth of coverage, $100,000 worth of coverage is $57.25 a month. Where it says model premium, that's how much she'll be paying per month. $57.25. Like I said, for some people who got a gas tank, that's less than
Yeah, she paying less than $60 a month.
Less than $60 a month, right?
Damn,
and that's her paying the minimum, right? Which is the floor, like we was talking about earlier. And
right.
Where it says where it says accumulated value, that's the cash
value.
Before
we even go over there, okay, let's take it step by step. It's $57 a month for $100,000 worth of coverage. So before even getting into the money making, just from the start, your family's covered. It's $100,000. That means if she were to die and she needs to get buried, the average cost is $15,000, $20,000 to bury her. Subtract that. That means funeral buried, top notch funeral. You die good. I mean, not die good, but you know what I mean. But have a good burial, and you still have $80K left of whoever she wants to leave that money to for the family, which will help people move up. You know what I mean? So I just want to highlight that.
Hold on. We're not going to just gloss over this. Nigga, did you just say die good? Okay. I'm sorry. I'm fucking around.
Right. So like what Rashid just said, literally you'll still have 80K, 75 to 80K. And that's like sending your loved one off well, right? Because 25,000 for the funeral expenses, right?
Right.
And then if you go down where it says accumulated value, right here, that's the cash
zoom
value.
In a little bit more, okay? Is a little small.
How about now?
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, that's that.
Okay.
No, yeah, okay.
Is that good? You guys see it?
Pull it out. Pause. Pull it out.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah, just keep it right there. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So then, as we scroll down, right, on the left, this is the person's age.
Right.
Right. So When we get to 65, which is retirement, because a lot of times I want to, stress this to a lot of people. You want your cash value to build up because this is for later on in life. Can you use it before then? Absolutely. However, in my opinion, you want to use this money during the time that you reach these ages, during the time to where you feel like you can no longer work, right? Which is retirement ages go with 65. Right now, she has $41,000 in her cash value, right? 41,370. Let's just say 41,000, right? In her cash value, right? At 65. And that's not including still her 100K worth of coverage. So she has 141K total, right? In this policy. Because if she passes 3 months from now, her beneficiary would not only get the cash value, but they get the coverage as well. So they get a total of 141K at and depending on when the insured passes away. But this is, let's say if she makes it to retirement age, right? So that's at age 65. Right, but let's keep that number in mind. Her cash value is 41,000. Let's keep that in mind, fellas. Cash value is 41,000, and she's paying $57 a month. Right.
So I did the math, Kenny, to interject real quick. We always want to keep it simple for everybody. So I did the math real quick. So to age 65, 17 years took her to get to age 65. $684 a year. Pretty much over that time frame, she would have put in $11,000. It's $11,600 into her policy. She's getting back 41,000. Let's just let that sink in. Yep. She put in 11,000. She's getting back 41,000.
Facts.
She's getting back 4 times the amount she put in for $57 a month.
Right.
Exactly.
$680 a year.
If you guys can see my screen still, let me know if everything is still on your
everything good. Everything good.
Okay. Now it says her now. This is the cap. This is the maximum amount that she can put per month is $268.50 per month. That's the most that she can put in, right?
And that still rivals you're filling up your damn gas tank. Seriously.
Exactly.
I filled up my gas tank the other day. That shit was like 90 something, bro.
I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
And that'll last me. And I don't have like a 9 to 5 where I'm going to work every single day like that. And my shit still only lasts me maybe about a week and a half to 2 weeks. You see what I'm saying? So imagine the person that's putting in $80 to $90 in their gas tank, and they going to work, and they got to pick up the kids, and they got back and forth. That's a lot of fucking gas. Trust me, you probably paying more than this in gas right now.
Exactly. Yep. Absolutely. So if you check at these same numbers, right? If you notice the cash value, the cumulative value, it's already higher than before.
Right.
Because he's putting more into her policy per month, right?
Right.
Look at age 40.
Interest plus what's going on in the market.
Exactly. You see at age 40, this is what it was at age 65 if she was paying the minimum. But because she's overfunding it, she's already at 41K at age 40.
Right.
And right now
she at 65.
Let's see where she at
65. Yep. Go down to 65. You go down to 65.
You know they say women live longer than men.
Yep. Yep. She's at 342,000, over $250,000.
So let's let that sink in though. 300 and how much she has to pay a month?
268.
268. So I just want to do the math while you're looking at it. So that's 3,200 a year. 3,200, $3,216 times 17 years. She put in 54,000 and got back how much?
342,000.
How much?
Wow. 342.
I just want to repeat that real quick.
So by the time she's ready to retire, all she really doing is paying a extra cable bill.
Pretty much.
Think about it. She paying an extra cable bill, or she paying a extra car note on a shitty car.
Yep.
And at age 65, when she's ready to retire, she got $350,000.
Yep.
To play with, and that's just for one policy. You see what I'm saying?
And look at the kicker to piggyback off of. Go ahead, Miles. What was you gonna say?
No, I just want to say that she and she don't even have to put in that 268. She could put in anything between the 57 and the 268. You can. That's why this shit is so beautiful, guys. Because if y'all check out RKT appraisals, they can look at your budget to see what's the best option for you between the two between the ceiling and the floor.
Right.
Because a lot of y'all think that y'all gotta. Because imagine if you put in something in between, you would still be looking at high 5 figures, low 6 figures.
Right.
If you put in somewhere in the middle, like let's just say you chose like 150, 175 a month because that's what you could afford. You still better off in the long run. But go ahead, Rashidi.
Yeah, no. And to piggyback off what you said, the perfect reason why to call RKT appraisals.
Right.
Imagine that person we got on the phone with these numbers. I can't afford 268, and you don't have to afford 268. But
right.
What we would say is that what's your cable bill a month? Probably 250.
Right.
Go ahead and download Netflix and pay for internet alone. Save some money maybe on if you smoke cigarettes or whatever the case is.
Right.
260 a month for 17 years. You get 300 over 300,000. Come on, like that don't even make sense. That don't even make sense.
That's crazy.
The point is about it is that you can borrow from this way before then. We showed you the numbers earlier before.
Right.
Those are at the time. That's if you just don't want to touch it from that time.
Right.
So if Kadeem scrolls back up and goes the first 5 years, you can see how much you can borrow the first 5 years. Like I said, in case of an emergency. You those numbers of things happen in life.
Tax free too. But I also want to ask you, that money, that 300 and that 300,000 at age 65, does that include in the death benefit?
Nope, that's just the cash value alone.
Look at that shit.
Add another 100,000. That'll include the death benefit.
Wow. So it's so let's just say they never touch it. So upon her death, her family is being left with $400,000.
Yep, 400.
Jesus Christ.
That's crazy.
442.
That's crazy.
Close to $500,000.
And this is the kick. This is only with $100,000 policy.
Right.
$100,000 policy to start off with.
Yep.
And isn't it let me ask you, isn't it true that you can do like a cheaper policy, like a $25,000 policy?
Correct.
Yes, you can. Other companies do 25K. This specific company, the lowest they go is 50,000. Other companies that we do that we're affiliated with, they can do up to 25K. Yes.
Okay. Yep. And does that affect how the cash value part of it works? Like if you take less money on the death benefit, how does that affect it? Right,
because the smaller your policy is, the slower your cash value would accumulate.
Gotcha. Okay. So when you take a smaller policy, so basically the death benefit is what kind of like dictates the size and magnitude of the policy. Exactly. So the bigger the death benefit is the more I can stand to make as far as the cash value.
Absolutely. So as a matter of fact, I'm glad you actually said that. Let me go back and because I put it on male now. Let me just go back and put it on female. Right?
Hold on. As you do that, I just want to tell the guys in the chat, if y'all got any questions, like how I'm asking questions, please ask questions because there's people. I'm sure that y'all want to know about these things and how it works and stuff like that. And y'all might ask a question that I might miss. And RKT Appraisals is here right now to explain it to you in real time. So please go ahead and ask a question. I see you in there, Monogamous Player. What's going on? Andrew Taylor, what's up with you? Kenwood Drive, Onyx Restorative, Jedi James, Cassius Wins. What up? So ask a question, guys.
So Miles, what I'm doing right now is that I'm increasing the death benefit from 100,000 to 250,000.
Oh shit!
Just to let people know that the higher your coverage, like we said, the more your cash value is going to accumulate at a faster rate.
Now stop for a second. Hold on. Just pause for a second. I need y'all to understand what we're talking about here. We're talking about that. Like for my cats who in the because this whole abortion Roe versus Wade thing. It is my understanding that none of these females have nothing to argue about unless a man is not responsible with his seed. Meaning that if you don't know how to wrap it up and you getting all these chicks pregnant, there's no, if a man is responsible with his seed, there's no protest for Roe versus Wade. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And, I just wanted to put that out there. But what I also do want to say is that let's just say you one of these niggas who sex just feels so good raw and you just can't keep it in your pants and you can't wrap it up because pussy is that important to you. And you got 15 fucking kids out here. You want to look at being able to leave your 15 goddamn kids $250,000 upon your death. Do you understand me? Because since you're reckless with your dick, you're probably going to be reckless in other aspects of your life. Mm-hmm. So when you die, at least you can leave your kids $250,000 so they can have a fighting chance. You understand what I'm saying? So I just wanted talk about that, because I know it's a lot of you niggas out there with a bunch of kids, and none of them don't have nothing to look forward to upon your death. You understand? So this is a big part of the reason why this stuff is very important. But go ahead.
Yep. So now I'm glad you said that. Very, very good point. Right. So this model right here is $143 a month, right? This is for $250K worth of coverage. I'm sorry. Oh, let me just give me a second. Okay, so we scroll down to age 65 now. It's $117,000 in the cash value, right?
Per month.
No, that's the per month was the 143.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, per month is 143. So the 17, 18 comes from where again?
So the 117K, that's the cash value at 65. This is for the same lady who was 30 years old.
The 17, 18 comes from the year, right? No,
so I hope you guys seen the same thing I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, it's 1,718. That's what I'm talking about. The 1,000. That's the 143 times 12, right? I'm just trying to.
Okay, so the 1,718. That's the annual amount.
That's what I'm trying to explain to everybody. So guys, yes. The monthly amount is how much you said?
So 143 is the month. And
so you pay 143 a month, and so that equals to times 12 is $1,718 a year.
Yes, that's correct.
And seriously, when you imagine all you got to do is contribute $1,700 a year to your children's future. $1,700 a year to your how many pair of Jordans is that?
Okay, so let's do the math. That's maybe about 4 or 5, if you lucky.
Probably about 5 pair of Jordans. So 5 pair of Jordans a year, and you can secure your children's future. Imagine that, guys.
That's crazy.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. And then
that's perfect right there, though. But I want to take it a step further, though. Like with that said, let's just do like the commercials do. When they shows that, just 10 cents a day, you can donate XYZ. So just for $4.76 a day.
Right. Max. Sally Struthers.
That's the amount. $4.76 a day. That's how much you're paying for this. $4.76 a day. Let's be honest. A cup of coffee is what? $2.25? McDonald's, if you're going to go to a dollar, then you're going to spend like $7.
Right.
Let's really be real here, though. Now. $4.76 a day.
And how many of those financial books will tell you about coffee? What they call it, the coffee quotient. They talk about how you spend $5 to $7 on Starbucks every fucking day.
Yeah, that's
this is where your money could be going. I'm sorry to be cutting it up so much, but there's so many thoughts that I have when I see shit like this, because you know how people, like, even your girl, right? Your girl, your wife, your fiance, the bitch on the side, whoever. She'll come to you and be like, "Hey babe, I saved money because I caught this blouse on sale." But the money that you saved, where is it, bitch? I bought these earrings on sale. I got them 25% off. Okay, the 25%. Where is it? You know what I'm saying? I got this off the clearance rack at Gucci. Okay, how much money less did you spend? I spent like $150 less. Where is that money though?
Right.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, if there's anybody in the chat who want me to run a quote real quick, I can run a quote. And
okay.
Like literally, I can show them their figure, because I know this is for a 30-year-old female. Right?
Okay.
So then, if there's any guys in the chat, even if there's females in the chat who want me to run a quote for them, I can just up your date of birth, and it literally just give me the month and year. I don't have to have the exact date of birth. Just give me the year you were born, and I can run a quote for you, literally right here live.
Monogamous Place said he wants you to do his. So what's your month and date of birth? Type in your month and date of birth in the chat.
Month and year, or month and what is it?
Yeah, you could just the year. The
month and the year, monogamous.
Yeah, month and year.
Yeah, the month and year, monogamous.
So he said December 1990.
Got you.
This nigga put the whole birthday. Come on, monogamous, you can't be doing that.
Yeah, he gonna get some presents from.
I just put on one. Okay, 1990, right? Boom. Give me a second.
But the point is, this is crazy. Why we say you can afford it. Not only can you afford it, you could bury anybody, leave money for whoever you want to leave money
Facts.
for,
Facts.
and on top of that, borrow money from it on rainy days.
Facts.
On top of that, it's tax free, and on top of that, it costs you, based off the numbers you ran, $5 or less a day.
Jesus Christ!
It's a no-brainer. You know what I'm saying? And
So
I know
here,
what you know what
could you guys see the screen?
Yeah, we.
Here's the screen.
Yeah.
So, a monogamous player, you'll spend $74.50 for 100K worth of coverage, right?
Mhm.
$74 a month, right? Because like we said, the males is just a little bit more expensive than a female, right? And if we scroll down to your cash value at retirement, right, you'll have pretty much $50,000.
50
right?
G's.
Nice.
And that's just you paying the
minimum.
The minimum, which is 74. Let's overfund this policy real quick and see what the numbers are real quick.
That's crazy.
And I want y'all to know that this is all stuff that Kayleen did with me.
Mhm.
Yes.
We had a Zoom call. We had a Zoom call to get my shit going, and this is exactly what he did with me.
Right.
You understand? So yeah, I want y'all to know that this is real
He
shit.
was about to do it with me on pause on Friday. So
Exactly. Yep.
This is real life.
And the most you could put into this policy is $333 a month, right? That's the max.
Right.
And I just want to, before I even go further, you can actually put more. But here's what happens: the IRS will tax you after that ceiling,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mhm.
So just to give everybody a heads up, right?
See, is that type of shit that keeps the investment vehicle tax free? That there's a limit on how much you could put in. So it's not like niggas just trying to take your money just for the sake of taking it. It's like it's actually a calculated. It's a calculated vehicle of investment. It's serious.
Yes.
Yeah, aka the government saying, "Whoa, you're making too much money."
Exactly.
I need to tax you.
Exactly. Yep. So then from 50K as far as your cash value all the way to 370K, right?
Damn.
Look at that.
Damn.
Same amount of time. You're just putting in putting in more money every month.
Right. And check this out, guys. Check this out. You have to understand. And what's his cash? What's his death benefit?
The death benefit is 100K.
Is 100K. So you're looking at. You said like something like 370. It was something like that.
It was 370. So 470. A little less than $500,000.
Little less than $500,000. So guys, understand how this works. You can, when you reach that retirement age, you can purchase yourself a house. You understand? You could purchase yourself a house and still have money left over in the cash value. You understand? And you can fucking when you pass, because it's gonna become time. You know what I'm saying? When you pass, there's still $100,000 in death benefit, plus the house that you leave, plus the rest of the money that's in the cash value of the policy itself.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So there's so many things going on with this shit. And think about this, monogamous. You can take out a policy on yourself, and you can take out one on your son.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So you can literally do the same thing that we're doing here, but do it with your son. And guess what? Your son is going to live longer than you. So your son got more money to get because you're starting the policy now when he's much younger. You understand? So your son is going to be seeing the numbers that you're seeing at 60. Your son is going to be seeing those numbers at 40 or 50.
Yep.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's why you got to understand how important this shit. And like I said before, for you guys who love raw sex, who got a bunch of fucking kids out there, you can take out a policy on every one of your damn kids.
Mm-hmm.
I see Mario Sosa has a question. He says, does having an illness have any effect on the policy? Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Yes,
because you guys have to realize it's still a business at the end of the day. So when it comes to insurability, the two main things they base your insurability off of is your age and your health.
Right.
So depending on what the sickness is or the illness is, can you still get coverage? Absolutely. But will they still predicate it upon that? Yes, they will. So that is a key
Right.
factor. That's a great question.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, not to downplay that too, because that's something where it's one of those things where there's coverage for everybody, and the reason why we always say call RKT appraisals is because we deal with multiple carriers. So
Right.
we're not committed to just one insurance company. We're committed to like 10 insurance companies. So that means that we're gonna find a policy that will cover you. It may cost you a little bit more money, but it's still an investment. You're still gonna see the same type of numbers. You just got to pay a little bit more.
Right.
A situation like that where a person may have an illness, it might come out to be, instead of being $75 a month, it might be $125 a month. So it might cost you an extra $50, but you still making out like a bandit at the end of the day.
Exactly. Right. We have another question here. It says, is this permanent life insurance or term?
So that's exactly both. It. So
but this is permanent. It's a hybrid of both. I can give you an illustration for the term as well, but that's permanent that we're looking at right now.
Okay.
And I think, Kayleen, too, what that question is kind of deriving from, too, is the whole life policy. Because I think we should address that. So, as far as the whole life policy, that's what most people look as the permanent. So that is a third type of life insurance product, which we really don't push. That product is good, too. It's just not as good as the universal life. Okay. It was the original universal life policy. It was the one better than the term. So the term is the first level. The whole life is the second level, and the new updated version is what we're talking about is the IUL. So the term policies, everything's very similar. You just don't get all that cash value back like how you have on the universal policy.
Right. Okay. I have a question too. So for these IULs, what are the risks? Because I'm not just trusting that these financial institutions is just got my best interest at heart. You know what I'm saying? Because we all know they don't. So I'm sure there's risks involved. What are the risks?
Yeah, I mean, there's always a catch, and there's always, and not necessarily a catch or a con, but there's always a downfall. So the downfall of the IULs, not downfall, but the reality situation with the IULs is that one, just like anything, it is attached to the stock market. So when Kayleen was saying it gets locked into place, based on the type of policy you get, it never dips below a certain percentage of interest rates.
Right.
So, for example, a certain policy might be their dip level is 3%. That's what the average lowest it'll go. So the lowest interest rate you'll get is 3%. That's why when you see the illustrations, it varies and it fluctuates. So it's one of those things where it is a cap where you don't lose any money beyond 3% on average on these type of policy, and the range is up to about 10% in terms of interest. So it does stay within a range. So that's the catch. The other thing is that the numbers we gave you, is projections of 10, 20, 30, 40 years down the line.
Right.
So it may not be exact to the dollar.
Right. It's not the numbers that you actually see on the projections, not guarantees.
Exactly. It's not guaranteed because stock market, nothing can be guaranteed.
Right.
30 years from now, what that really means is that, like how we had that number where that person made $340,000. The reality situation is 30, 40 years from now, that might be $315,000 versus $340,000. It's not going to be a huge variance, but it is a variance though. So it's one of those things where it has that potential, and that's where that floor is. Where, like I said, with the interest rate, where some policies don't drop below 3%, that's the average. And the range is between 8% maximized. That's why even with this particular type of policy, you can take money out at different times and maximize that dollar when the money's going good.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you got $80,000 in there, you can take out $60,000 while the market is great and things of that nature. But overall, it's never going to drop dramatically, but it's not 100% guaranteed that exact dollar to the exact penny.
Gotcha.
Also, I just wanted to I just ran an illustration, right? This is for term products, right? Because the thing is, we want everybody to get IULs, right? However, remember, because we deal with so many different people, that everybody's situation is different. So not everybody, I don't want to say can't afford it, but at the same time, everybody's budget is different.
Right.
So we always make sure that we make sure that policy is fit for that specific individual. So with these term products, if you look, it says 10-year term, 15-year term, 20-year term, 30-year term, right? Look at the numbers, $12.23 for 10 years, $13 for 15, $15 for 20 years, and $22 for 30 years worth of $100,000 worth of coverage, right? Now, like I said, when it comes to term, we usually, anyone who, for one, if you have a family, hands down, you should be having a combo, and a permanent policy for the building of the cash value, and a term policy for the actual insurance. You know, in our opinion. And for 30 years, think about it. How long does a person have a mortgage? 20, 30 years. This is the length of that mortgage. So God forbid that the homeowner passes away. Now you don't got to worry about, who's going to pay for the home.
Right.
Your life insurance can pay for the rest of your home.
Right.
This
This is where
$100,000.
To finish off what Katie says, you know, this is where we're going to drop the mic with this. Someone out there might be saying, but wait, you know what I mean? I got term insurance with my job. Correct. The difference is with these particular type of policies, you can convert them into IUL. So what that means is we work with companies where this term, you can't afford it right now, you can turn it into IUL. So there's no excuse of why you can't get a policy, because if you can't afford a IUL off the top, you can literally get a term policy dirt cheap, and depending on the term you get, you have 1 to 5 years to change it into IUL. No matter what happens with you, it's guaranteed approval. So you get a tight window, 1 to 5 years, that if something changed medically or whatever the case is, you still can convert your policy with no issues to IUL. You can't beat that. So there's no excuse for nobody or no budget we can't match. As long as we get covered.
See, Kid Frankie said I'm gonna book these brothers. I have 2 because my future is too important to me. That's what's up. See, that's what I'm talking about.
So can we see the projections on this? What is this? You said his whole life?
This right here, what we're looking at?
Yeah.
This is term. This is term policy.
Term. Okay. Can we see the projection?
No. So no, because remember, term doesn't have any cash value.
Okay, so there's nothing to see. This is just what you pay every month or every year.
Every month, right? For the 10, 15, 20, or 30 years. This is the monthly amounts.
Oh, okay. So you pay the most you pay is 22
as far for 30 years with the coverage.
For 30 years. And so every year you pay about a buck. Okay, so the 20G, 30G, okay, those are the different years. Okay.
These are the different years, right? Yep. Okay. 10 years, 15 years, 20 and 30. Right. Okay. And absolutely.
So and that's why it costs so low, because while it's in the term phase, if you die, you still get all that money. You still get that 100K beneficiary you get. So that's why you pay that low. But if you convert it into IUL, you say, now I got enough money to invest and turn it into and jump in the stock market and turn it into indexed universal. Now we're gonna pay you accordingly. So you know what I mean? I don't have the money, but at least if I die, everybody's still getting paid, still good funeral. But you know, when I got the money now to invest, now I'm getting paid real money, like I'm investing for real.
Gotcha.
Just to piggyback off that real quick, all of these policies come with what we call living benefits. So now you can actually use your coverage money to help sustain your living. Like, God forbid, if you got hit by a bus, you lost the arm, you lost the leg, you got stage 4 cancer, you caught a stroke, something severe happens to you, whether it's chronic, critical, or terminal. Now the companies are giving the insured access to the money while you're allowed to help sustain your living from your coverage. So if you have $100,000 coverage, right? You can use. You will, depending on the severity of the situation. I think that the max they'll give up to is about 85%. That other 15% still goes to the beneficiary when that insured passes. But that up to 85% of that coverage money can be used for if the person becomes ill.
And that's talking about IULs.
All products, term and IUL. Okay,
term and IUL. So Monogamous Player is saying, so could I convert my former policies from Global Life to IULs?
Well, that's a question. To tell you the truth, you'd have to ask them directly, because all these insurance companies, all the policies they write, some of them do it, some of them don't. So literally, that's a question you have to ask them directly. Like, hey, can I convert this into an IUL? Because not a lot of companies do it. Well, let me rephrase that. A lot of companies do that, but the question is, is it one of the companies you are using that does it at the end of the day? You know
I have another question, because I was doing some research the other day, and some dude who wasn't a supporter of IULs, he talked about how sometimes like life insurance companies, they can raise the price or the rate of coverage. So that means like there's a certain amount of that goes to your coverage, like in the IUL, there's a certain amount of money that goes to your coverage, and there's a certain amount of money that goes into the market and gets played on the market or whatever. So do you have any information on that?
So when it comes to things like that, right? Know that, keep this in mind, guys. You are always going to be paying for insurance. There is never a time where you're not paying for insurance, right? Once you have the coverage, right? However, when it comes to the actual payment, can it increase? It only increases like for like new insureds. Like if we have a policy, your policy is locked in. They can't charge you more than, because it's a contract you're signing. Remember, it's a contract. It's a consideration clause from the client to the actual company.
Right.
So the consideration from the company side is saying, listen, if something happens to you, we're promised to pay out to your family. The
Right.
consideration from the client side is to pay those premiums, those set premiums.
Right.
Your premium is never increasing. That's never the case.
Okay.
Never the case. So it's always going to be a set price. Now, like we said, because it's in the market, right? Your coverage is remaining the same. It's not going anywhere.
Right.
The only thing that will fluctuate, like Rashid was stating earlier, is the interest rate when it comes to your cash value, how that's being accumulated. But you're never losing money in this process. You get what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So,
and to clarify that even more too, it is also very specific to the carriers you're using. So just want to clarify that, because that's not the case for all policies. There are policies out there where if you have, the same thing, an IUL, and if you read clear with the fine print, a reprojection can be in 10, 15 years. They have to reset the market, and your money can change. So that video you're watching, that does happen. But that's why it's very specific to the policy and the insurance company you're using. So it is out there. That is a thing.
Right.
But that's something, that's a question where, truth be told, most people don't ask. But no, it is a thing. It's just very specific to that insurance company and that policy that you have, because there are policies where they change. I have a policy right now for my father where he had a whole life policy, and it did change in terms of the amount, because it's been over 40 years. It has increased, and it went up only about $15 a month, but that's still a big difference.
Gotcha.
But the point is that particular policy, it did change. So that's a question, like you said, to ask whenever you're dealing with the policies. But the policies that we work with in general, we push in general, have those guidelines. If it is a policy we do use with a different carrier, we'll let you know if that's not the case. But the primary ones that we do push, those are the ones that don't have that clause, so you don't have to worry about that.
Right. But ultimately, though, I mean, it's you can kind of assume that it's better to have one of these than to not have one.
Absolutely. No matter what, you're gonna win. All this is gonna cost you a little bit more. And let's be honest, what doesn't cost you more? Everything goes up.
Everything
Gas goes up.
Right.
McDonald's go up. We should be able to get a Happy Meal for $2. You know what I mean? $4. You know what I mean? Now the price is like $9. So everything definitely goes up. So to think that
you guys gotta understand, to put it in better perspective as well, is that these policies keep up with inflation. Right. Okay. It does better than the inflation. So you get what I'm saying? Like, people don't realize that the cost of living keeps going up every year. If you're not making a lot more money per year, then it's almost like you're making less and less money, because the cost of living keeps going up. So in other words, if you get paid $50,000 a year, right, and the cost of living keeps going up every year, 3-4 years from now, your $50,000 that you're making is not $50,000 anymore. Right. Maybe like 45. You know what I'm saying? $40,000. You get what I'm saying? It just decreases. But these policies, because of the interest rate, because it's a hedge against inflation, it keeps up with it. It keeps up with the market. It keeps up with the market. Right. So then, as far as the investment side to it, like, because I look at it like this: if you're going to invest, you have to invest regardless. People want to invest their money to see a return, to see a larger return. Right. That's the point of investing, so you can see some profit, right? And these are one of the only vehicles, not the only one, but there's only very few. But these are one of the that's more secure. Right. Like we always say, the bank, it's great security but low interest. Right. The variable market, that's where your 401k is. Can you still the Bitcoin and all these other variable products? Can you make money 100%? But guess what? You can also lose money. Right. In the IUL, you don't lose any money. Right. It's not guaranteed that you're always going to gain that much, but you're never going to
correct Kareem, though, and I don't know if Miles is going to ask this. So just to clean that up, though, it's not that you're not losing money. is that the money is focused in the interest rate, and so your interest rate your interest rate can drop down, like I was saying before, like around that 3%, depending on the type of policy. So it's not that you lose money.
So you're not losing.
Right.
No, let me
You're
clarify.
not losing money, but the floor of the interest rate is around that 3%. There is a loss.
Right.
I don't want to, I know what you're saying, Kenny, but just explain it just so people don't understand. Like there is a floor there is a floor with the interest rate. You're not losing money, but there is a floor for the interest rate, though.
Right. So you're not gonna. So you sometimes the market is low.
There is a floor for the yes, there is a floor for the interest rate. That is correct.
So basically, if the market is low, you're just not going to make as much as you did last year when the market was high.
Exactly.
But you're not right. But you're not losing because your money didn't deplete as if you're versus a variable product.
Right.
If the market goes down, your money is gone. Not all of it. I'm not saying that all of it is gone, but some of your money is gone. You're not losing any money, but you're also, depending on the market and you're not gaining at that specific point either. You're staying at that bar,
at that floor. Now, I want you to do one more thing for me. I want you to, if somebody decided to take a IUL out on their kid, I just want you to do that to show the power of starting early.
Got you.
So just do that real quick, and then we'll wrap the show up, because this is the longest show we've ever did. We have 46.
But this is real stuff right here, though. Real stuff right here, though.
Give me 1 second.
I want cats to see what I'm talking about when I say take a fucking policy out on your kid.
This is real life. And while he's pulling that up as far as taking a policy on the kid, the reason why you want to do that is because it's a lot cheaper. And then you take it out on your kid when they 1-2 years old. By the time they get a certain age, they might have by the time they reach 18, should I say, they might have $15,000, $20,000, $30,000.
Right.
What can you do for your kid at 18? That's college money. That's if you want to buy them a little car for Sweet 16. More importantly, they have a policy in place that's dirt cheap that they can take over when they're 19, 20, 21, whatever age you want, and they don't have to worry about getting another policy for themselves.
Right.
And if they have kids, they don't got to worry about it. And it just keeps going, and it's just more money, more investment at the end of the day.
Facts. More money, more. Yeah, Danny, yes. This is it's tied to the S&P 500, yes. Or similar markets. If it's not the S&P 500, it's a similar market.
Exactly.
Okay, so right now, you guys see the screen, or is it too small? You guys can see it now?
Yeah, right there. Right there is good. Right there is good.
This is a kid that's 7 years old.
Right?
$100,000 worth of coverage.
Right.
$29 a month, right?
$29 a month. Damn.
$29 a month.
And that's the low. That's the low. That's the floor.
That's the floor.
Okay.
52,000, right? Now I know that seems a long way from now, right? Average time in at $52,000. I even go further because you want to look at certain pinnacles in their life,
right?
Where
at age 18,
as you can see, it really didn't grow too much from.
It's low. It's low. Yeah,
it's pretty low, right? And this is because it's $100,000 worth of coverage. And
right.
The kid is only 7 years old.
Gotcha.
And when I run illustrations for children, at minimum, you should be doing 250,000 because think about it, 15, 20 years from now, 100K is not going to be worth as much 15, 20 years from now.
Right.
So then you want to do like 200, 250 just to equate for the time that's going to pass by anyway. Right. As a matter of fact, let me go back and do that real quick.
And just to keep it in context, though, with the kids, the reason why you're not making as much money as whatever, because you're paying a lot less over a longer period of time, so they can't make as much money off you. Because if they were to do it the same way at the older ages, your kid would be like worth like $3-4 million by the time he's 65 without doing nothing for $29 a month. That's just unrealistic. So that's why you gotta put it in perspective.
So $250,
$66 a month, right? $66 a month, right? So now when the kid is, let's go to 18. When he's 18, that's a little over, you could say 6,000, right?
No, we need to see the age. Come back. Pull it back out a little bit. Yeah, right there. 18. He got 11 G's. That's what's up. Okay.
No, at 18.
Oh, that's 18 years. Yeah, I'm sorry. When he's 18, that's 5 G's.
He has 6,000, right?
Yeah.
Let's go to age 30. 20,000. Right, and then when Age 40, 42,000. Age 50, 81,000.
Mm-hmm.
Age 65, he has 192,000, right? Now, granted, that is a long time from now.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys got to realize with these policies that these are investment vehicles. So you want to overfund them.
Right.
This is where the compound interest comes in. This is where the compound interest comes in. Hold on.
Mm.
And this is why I say, hold on, let's get that quick view, right? So the most you could put into it is $421 a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
When this 7-year-old, when he turns
18.
When he turns 18, he's already at $74,000.
Damn.
At age 18, right? Age 30, a little less than $250,000, $227,000.
Right.
That's crazy.
And then at age 52, he has $1 million. And then
Wow.
at retirement, he has $2.3 million, almost $2.4 million.
And I want to drop something in real quick though.
Jesus Christ.
They say it costs $350,000 to raise a child at minimum.
Right.
Grown up. So let's think about that real quick. So if it costs $350 and you get a life insurance, you get all your money back. So you don't even, it don't cost you nothing to raise your kid. Let's just think about how deep that is real quick.
Because again, it's out on your kid, but it's actually yours because you're funding it.
Right.
You understand? So this money, the policy is for the life of the child, but you're funding it. So the money is yours. And, you know, whatever you purchase, if you use this money to purchase assets,
Mm-hmm.
you still can bequeath anything you use out of this vehicle to purchase. You could still bequeath that to your child. So if you take out a policy on this nigga, be like, yeah, I'm using this nigga as an investment vehicle. Yes, that's what I'm doing. But it's like if you buy a house, you buy a car, you buy, some equipment, let's just say you own a truck, you end up buying equipment for like a trucking company, something like that. All of that stuff goes right back to your child. It's not like you're robbing your kid. Do you understand what I'm saying? Unless you're just going to buy Jordans. And even then, if you take care of the Jordans, that's still a dope shoe collection to bequeath to your child. So the point is just being responsible, bro. The point is being responsible. The point is being consistent, because this is you. So if you pay that 200 and something a month, you're consistently paying that 5 G's a year, but the returns are ridiculous. So when your kid is 50, he's already a fucking millionaire and nothing. He ain't do nothing.
Right.
Just imagine though, like I said again, to the point of the age 30, where you could give your kid 300,000, depending on policy, 300, 400,000. Imagine sitting down your son at age 30, the hardest time in life. You know what I mean? They did what they had to do, and you be like, listen, let me give you this $200,000 to put down on this house that costs $400,000. Your mortgage is dirt low. You still have $150,000 left of life insurance. Something happened to protect you and your family. Right. You know what? I'm probably going to take 50,000 because I'm going on vacation because I earned this and got this to you. It's a win for everybody. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
And then also, I think Miles said it earlier, but when you take out anything you take out from your cash value, whatever that number is. So let's say if you have 50,000 and you took out maybe 20,000, that 30,000 remaining is still accumulating.
Right.
So it continues wherever you left off. It continues to accumulate.
Pay yourself back.
Interest.
Exactly. So it makes sense that if you're going to borrow out of any one of these, policies, leave something in there. You know what I'm saying? Leave something in there so it could continue to accumulate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, man. But yeah, this is how the rich do it, man. This is how they create generational wealth. They leave money to their family. This is another reason why, we be struggling in the street, getting shot up by the cops and whatnot, because they know that most of us don't have these policies on us, bro. They know that shit. You understand? That's why when they go to the rich neighborhood, they're a little bit less trigger happy, because they're like, well, I know that most of these people in these rich neighborhoods have policies on their kids. They have policies on their teenagers. So I ain't gonna be just running around here shooting kids for no damn reason, because all of this works together. All of this shit works together. Don't get it twisted. Money is called currency for a reason. There's a flow to it. You understand? So if the cops is out here killing kids willy nilly, and each one of these kids got a $500,000 cash value literally on their head. It's a kid walking around with a $5,000 cash value on his head.
Mm-hmm.
You killing them left and right with no fucking conscience. Oh, the insurance companies is gonna have something to say about your police department.
Right.
And if the insurance companies have something to say about the police department, then the police department gonna have something to say about that cop. And more than likely, that nigga's gonna lose his job. So he gonna think twice. You understand what I'm saying? So all these things work together, guys. All these things work together. So, make it a priority to start thinking about your future, start thinking about your finances. Call RKT Appraisals, 973-420-5028. We got a question here. Monogamous says, due to my salary and financial budget, is it better to overfund my policy or my son's policy? What would be the better long term if I could only do one? And
it'd be his policy. It'd be his policy because you get more on average. If you looked at the numbers before, on average, based off his age, you get back about 4 times in return on average because you're just naturally investing more. That's why you get back more. So on his child's policy, you get about twice the money you put in. But it's 4 times the amount on average for older adults because naturally you're investing more money into it.
Got you. I got so monogamous players policy would be the policy to invest more.
Exactly.
Okay. Exactly. All right. So there you have it, monogamous. But guys, we've been on here for a minute explaining this shit to y'all, man. Peace to everybody in the chat. Shout out to RKT. Y'all got any closing words, RKT?
Nah, man. Just give us a call. Stop playing. That's it.
Yeah, all right. So 973-420-5028. Any parting words, Kayleen?
Oh yeah, just last thing I would say, guys, it's super important. Like I said, the cash value is awesome, but at the end of the day, like we need coverage. We need to cover ourselves. We need to cover our family. And so just make sure, like at this point, you need to have something. It is not cool walking around like you wouldn't go outside naked, so don't go outside without an insurance policy. Make sure that you have something in place for you and your family. It's a serious business.
Facts. Facts. All right, there you have it, guys. Yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Shout out to R. Kelly. My man got 30 years and shit. I bet he had a life insurance policy. If he don't, and so appreciate y'all for tuning in. And as always, the truth is inside you. Peace.